There's a masculine energy coming through who's going through a real purge. The psyche, the subconscious is being really delved into and cleared through. There's so much wounding and hurt and betrayal that's coming through here. I'm talking from when they were a really young child. There's something to do with healing family issues here. There might have also been something to do with a child of their own in a connection that there wasn't that true love, right? I feel like you and this individual have such a soul connection. This is like a divine connection. This is true love, and there's going to be a potential for a new cycle in this love to begin. But first of all, there's some real clearing that someone's going through. They're having to take accountability for every which way they betrayed themselves, they betrayed others outside of themselves. I'm talking especially you, if this is divine feminine watching, right? You might be feeling this from them as well. You might be feeling in a really strange way. They're walking away from this really wounded feminine energy right now, but there's definitely a separation. There's also a distance, but you don't know about what's been going on. There might have even been like a secretive marriage or a secretive kind of just connection, and you feel like you were left out in that, but it was such divine protection because what they were going through, they needed to handle kind of the illusions. I'm hearing the masks. It's like, you know, when you bury something and they just kept digging dirt on it when they needed to just actually do the opposite and, you know, take it off finally. Yeah, there's just been so much involvement from external energies. You might have felt like you were on the outside looking in, actually. This is somebody who's been going through a serious grieving process. I do think there's something about a child involved here. Massively. So definitely their inner child, but it could also be that child externally, okay? And they're freeing themselves from this kind of this energy. What's going to happen though is there's going to be this energy where you two are going to get to know each other truthfully now, without the masks, right? Without the deception. I think that's kind of what is keeping them in indecision as well, because there's this energy of there's so much darkness, so many scars that they are holding and bearing, and they're wondering like this was not a version of them that they made apparent to you, so they're kind of just wondering, I feel all of these feelings, but will they be reciprocated? Because actually the truth of who I am. Truly a desire to want to heal this though. With the 8 of Wands and the Sun card as well, and the beautiful 9 of Cups, there is like this positive movement, but it's just going to be both of you kind of overcoming, the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck, overcoming kind of these, where you've come from. I think that this is someone who's, I'm just keep hearing battle scars and wounds. I feel like such a heavy heart in this energy, I really do. And 3 of Swords just said that. They're hurting and they've been hurting for a while. They're on a divine journey, so they have a divine mission, which is why it's kind of gotten to the point where they can't keep ignoring this, they can't keep denying this, but they also realise that, you know, it's layer by layer. I say this all the time. They're cycling through this, right? They're understanding things each layer as each layer goes. A win-win outcome is forecast, okay? Conclusions are within reach. And it's time to release negativity. I think, again, they show the world real you. I think that there's this energy of kind of everything that was weighing them down, keeping them in this dark space, is really what they're releasing finally. You know, I feel like this actual energy presents as like a leader in their life as well, which is the interesting thing. But behind the scenes, there's just this wounded inner child that keeps coming through, okay? But they're finally able to kind of clear through that. They're understanding that differently. Your hard work is paying off. So I feel like, you know, the more you're allowing yourself to stay in your alignment, you know, devoting yourself to your path, the more that's kind of influencing them as well on an energetic level. And they're devoting themselves to their path. They're seeing the end goal. They're understanding that what they want, right? Nothing is yet set in stone, correct? Because you're both going to, new start is coming. You're both going to need to understand everything. Once you're clearing, once you go through the cycles, you need some time to really understand what's just happened, to clear through, to know where you are now. Don't let pride get in your way. This is something for you. I feel like there's been hurt in the past, but it's kind of like this energy of nothing's yet set in stone, because you also need to make the decision to forgive, I've heard, okay? You're very close to achieving your goal. Again, a new start is coming. Their ego is really built as a protective shield. It truly is. Undoing all of that, it takes a long time. It takes patience. It takes so much learning of compassion for self. This unconditional love comes from you holding that space for the others to kind of go through their process of their healing, their journey. Whilst they're doing this, they're unraveling so many different layers of themselves, right? They need this kind of, look at this, they need that patience. There's definitely need for patience. Prosperity lays ahead here, okay? I think right now it's just that kind of the Emperor with the Hanged Man. Yeah, I think someone's really needing to like that retreat card here, just to balance themselves out, to understand this new perspective they're gaining of who they are now past all these layers. This is someone who's acted in ways I am not proud of, really and truly. The way I've heard used emotions, whether that's their own or others, masks, just there's been a lot of kind of acting from such a wounded space, but they know this, and I think this is something that they're kind of having to come to terms with about themselves. And when you've done that kind of thing, it can be really difficult to forgive yourself, truly. Someone's really getting support with their understanding how to manage their sacral energy. So they've acted, impulsively, lustfully, addictively. Actually, in the past, they're getting support with this, so they don't act based off just passion purely alone, in like that unhappy way. Very soon there's going to be this opportunity for this reconciliation, for this expression of love, but right about now somebody really is needing that time to just understand who they are now, their mission now. On a higher level, it's really, I feel like it's such a profound release that they're experiencing, and they're seeing things for what they are. Like the veils are lifting right now, the swords are kind of being removed. This is someone who really struggles with their approach. Their approach is where they're going to be tested, because they are being tested right now, but they kind of see you as, they're so attracted to you, like I'm talking sexually, right? But also the heart space, they see your heart space. And the only issue with this individual is they have this tendency to act from, like I say, that energy that they're healing through, right? And that's where they're going to be their biggest test, it feels like, especially when it comes to kind of who they're interacting with outside of them as well. There is this kind of, with this death card, I'm seeing a massive transformation. You've triggered this in them, actually. But as a result, this Knight of Pentacles here, they're really coming through with this Fool at the bottom of the deck. For this new cycle, this new love that came through earlier, from a much more stable, honourable, I've heard, a place where they can really understand the action, and you can trust them and know that this is reliable and worthy. This is someone who has a lot of temptations around them, whether they're allowing this or whether this is just happens to be the case by default. But they're really going to be, they're tested. This is really testing them. I'm seeing that they want to approach, towards this Empress here with this Hierophant energy from that high level, knowing how to approach, doing the right thing. But they're clearly needing to clear through this imbalance, this really unhealthy energy within them that keeps them spiraling through these addictive behaviours and just these really lustful behaviours that obviously they're not here for this. So this is theirs now to really handle here through. It feels like it's going to be a positive turning with these cards, right? But it's all about how they allow themselves to see things from this new perspective and really handle it and allow themselves, it's kind of like their discipline and the devotion is being tested right now. But again, it all comes down to how much are they loving themselves, how much are they going to address their shadow, and how much are they really devoted to the calling that is of their true heart, their soul. Let me know if this was for you. Sending so much love.